Okay, hi everybody. How are we all doing? Hope we got my message in the Facebook group. Doing something a bit different. I'm trying to introduce you to getting away from pencil because that's all we've been doing really. So I just wanted to see what sort of thing you might think of drawing. So Kim's going to have a go with some lipstick, which I think is a brilliant idea. But before I start showing you some stuff, this is going to be my last one for a little while because I've got to go back to work. I know, as I've mentioned before, at the moment I'm a chef, so I've got to go back and I'm working pretty much non-stop for the next couple of weeks. But don't worry, I've resigned, so I'll be back soon. I'll be back soon, but I don't know when. So if you want to post anything, if you do anything during the time I'm away, stick it in the Facebook group, and I'll stick around in that, and I'll have a look at what everyone's been up to. So I really wanted to introduce you to some new ways of creating art that maybe you haven't thought of before. So Kim's got lipstick. What else has everyone got? If everyone's taking part, because I know we're a bit short on numbers this week, aren't we?
Yeah, that's because everyone's tried tuning into Steve's room, and Steve's room's not.
I tried this at about 5 to 1, and then I had to looked on the chat and saw that your room was the one we were doing it in. But that's fine.
Yeah, that's because Steve's meant to be. I say meant to be, but he isn't. But he's meant to be having time off.
Yeah. Well, good for him.
So he gave me control, so I can open the room up for him, for you guys, whilst he's away.
Fair enough. But what's that? He's got a candle and watercolor paint. That's really interesting, because if you draw with a candle and then put watercolor paint over the top, the watercolor paint won't affect the wax of the candle. So you could then remove the wax of the candle afterwards, and you'll have crisp white paper underneath. That's a really interesting one.
Mine, Tom.
Yeah.
They're called the pencils, but they're also like the paintbrush. I think you put like water. I've never tried it before. They're sort of like watercolor pencils, and then you've got paint the brush with them. It's like a set of crayons. It is. Tom, and they put me in water, but not tried that yet.
Yeah, you did. I haven't got any, which is frustrating. But you do use them like normal crayons, but then you dip your brush in water and wipe it over the crayon, and it dissolves and starts to look like watercolor paint. They're really interesting. You can get some really cool.
Not tried it doing that yet, but yeah.
It's really good. And then you can, of course, once that's dried, you can go over again in pencil, and you can get some really interesting marks and make some really, really cool looking drawings. So that's a good one as well. Oh, that's good. I think that's everyone that's taking part, isn't it, at the moment? I must admit, Kim, I've never drawn with lipstick before, so I'm intrigued. Sorry, Kim, you're muted. She's still muted. Hang on. Here we go. There we go.
I was saying I've had a few autographs in the past done with lipstick. I couldn't find a pen, so I said I've got lipstick on me. So
brilliant. Yeah. I've never tried, so I don't know what to suggest with that. Like, what paper will be best? Because there's all sorts of paper available. I mean, you can get really rough paper, so that might make some interesting marks on it, or a smooth paper might get a really smooth edge from the lipstick on it.
It could kind of smudge quite well, possibly if you use your fingers. So I'll give it a go. Yeah,
so canvas might be an interesting thing to draw on with lipstick. I don't know. I'm going to have to try it now. I'm going to have to go and get some cheap lipstick and have a go. That's really
I'll take a photo of it.
Or some of your girlfriends or something, or your wives or something.
I don't think she'd be too happy about that, to be honest. I have to go and get a cheap one from Superdrug or something.
Yeah. Darling, I'm nicking your lipstick. Why? For what? Rot.
I already nick a hairspray, so. So I just wanted to bring some examples of stuff that I've done in different. We call them media. You know, it's the stuff that you create with. Because drawing isn't just about pencil. You know, it's just about making a mark. You can draw with paint. You know, if you just draw out what you want to do with the paint before you do the actual painting, that's still drawing. It's still acceptable. So what I've got for this one, hang on. Everyone knows what that is, right? Good old Bic Biro. So that's Bic Biro as a drawing. So as you can see that this is really interesting because you can get it's all permanent. You can't get rid of it. Once you've made a mark with a pen, that is it. It is on. You are not getting rid of it. But you can still achieve like different pressures. Like when we were drawing with pencil, you can start quite lightly and then press harder and you get darker marks. You can still do it with this, but you can't get rid of it once you've made it. So you've got to be really careful how you do it. So pens are a really good one. This kind of pen, do you know the one? Like a rollerball kind of pen that it's got in the bottom. Guys, just draw. Just put whatever you've got to paper and show me the result once I've finished yakking. just trying to inspire you to just start making marks with whatever's around. Because I tend to draw with pens because I've always got a pen in my pocket. So these are really good because as well as making, you know, marks like that, like a pen, it's actually water soluble, so it dissolves and you get these weird sort of purples and blues and reds and splatters, and then you can get those harsh permanent lines. Really interesting stuff that you can do with that. You can also get, hang on, this stuff, it looks like ink and it works in kind of the same way, but it's called liquid watercolor, and that works in basically the same sort of way as that. You put it on and it sort of dissolves in this, it goes on black, but it turns green and blue and purple and red, and you don't know what you're going to get until you put it on the page, which is, I think it's really, really interesting. And obviously with this, with your pen, you can't really do the whole pressure altering thing to get shading. So you want to do one of these sort of techniques. You've probably heard of like cross hatching, where you do this build up of lines. That's quite a good. Andy, you're always talking about comic book pictures, aren't you, and stuff? They use that a lot. And hatching.
Yes.
They also do this this one, stippling, which is like lots of little dots that sort of build up.
Ah, yeah.
You know, like pop art, where it's got quite the dots that sort of build up quite rhythmically on it.
Yeah, like dot type stuff.
Yeah. That's my favourite, scribbling. You can see how the sort of the build up of the dark down the bottom, and then as it brings away. Great for doing trees and stuff.
Kim,
Hello?
what's next after you melt the chocolate?
You melted your chocolate? Yeah. Is anybody else at the stage where their chocolate is melted that we can? Yeah? Yeah? Okay, can I just have 5 minutes, Tom, just to do the pouring
Of course.
and folding, and then we can get our chocolate on and come back to you. So.
Hang on then.